Hi, I'm Kim. I'm your mental health counselor for today, and I'd like to start off by going over our informed consent. The informed consent here explains my credentials as well as my previous work experience. It explains the bills as well as the fees. It explains the nature of treatments and what is expected of both the client and the counselor. It has information on the tests and assessments that we use and what they'll be used for. And there's also an explanation of confidentiality and when it will be breached. The only times that confidentiality is breached is when the individual is a threat to themselves or others, when a client is a minor or elder and is being abused, if records are mandated by court, and if the client requests the release of the records. Once you read the informed consent, if you could just sign at the bottom, that would be great. Do you have any questions?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty much self-explanatory.
So how are you today?
I'm fine. I brought you something that I made. It's a small ornament for Christmas. Because this is our last session and I wanted to thank you for all that you've done for me.
Thank you. This is actually a great gift, and it's meaningful because you had made it yourself. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I hope that you like to put it on your tree.
I will. How are you today, Jen?
I'm fine. Since today's our last session, I brought you a gift.
Oh, a cell phone. Well, I actually can't accept this gift because it costs far too much money.
Okay.
I hope you understand and I didn't offend your feelings.
No, it is expensive and I understand.
Thank you for understanding. So what brings you in today, Jen?
I've been having problems with my depression. I tried to do drugs and to cut the edge off and it just didn't work. So then I decided to try cutting again and that didn't work either.
I actually had a friend who once tried self-harm and they ended up going to a counselor to get help, and they ended up getting better from the treatment that they had reached out for. So I think it's a good thing that you're here. What brings you in today, Jen?
Well, I've been having some problems and my depression started to spiral downward. So I tried some drugs and that didn't help. So then I decided that I would start cutting again to see if that would relieve any pain.
Well, I smoke weed all the time and I feel like it helps me.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm fairly well. I got into an argument with my brother the other night. I had a friend over and we were drinking, and my brother got upset because when he got home and my friend was there, it was probably 9 o'clock at night. He didn't actually want my friend to be there. So he ended up flipping out and was yelling at both me and my friend, telling my friend that he had 5 minutes to leave the house, and if he didn't leave, they had to come out and deal with him, like basically threatening my friend who was there at the time. And my friend ended up leaving, and my brother said along the lines that I needed to learn a lesson, and I wasn't too sure what the lesson was at the time, but he was very aggressive, and it was just scary.
So were you able to come to any kind of a conclusion with your brother about people being there?
No, he was just mad, and I ended up ignoring a lot of what he was saying because I didn't know how he would handle my reactions. I wasn't sure how he would respond to me.
But don't you think that you have a right to have friends over as well?
Of course
It
I
is your
do.
home.
Of course I do, but my brother is very stubborn and he thinks he's the boss, so it's his way or the highway majority of the time.
Okay. How are you today?
I'm okay. I actually had gotten into an argument with my brother last night over the laundry. He took my clean clothes out of the washer and put it on my bed, which was fine, but I had dirty clothes sitting in the washer waiting to be washed, and he basically put it in the dryer without the clothes being washed and ended up putting it on my bed with my clean clothes. So now I had clean clothes and dirty clothes mixed up together, and when I went to rewash my clothes, he basically started yelling at me and told me that I could go to a laundromat.
So how'd that make you feel?
I was pissed, and essentially I called him a dipshit, and he got really mad and came after me, and I thought he was gonna punch me, but he didn't. So I ended up getting my dad involved because I didn't feel comfortable.
What? Kim, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling okay. I wanted to talk about my first experience trying heroin.
Okay. And how did that make you feel?
Well, at first I was really nervous to try it, but once it was in my system, I pretty much felt like invincible. I felt like there was no stress, there was absolutely no care in the world for me to have to worry about.
How did you feel after the effects were gone?
Sleepy. Very, very sleepy.
So do you feel that that's something you may continue to try to do on a regular basis?
It's a possibility if it takes away all the pain and allows me to feel positive.
So Kim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I just ended up trying heroin over the weekend.
Now that's probably not the smartest thing you could have done.
Probably not.
So how'd that make you feel?
Honestly, it made me feel fairly well, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
How long do you think that's gonna last?
Well, if I keep doing it, it'll last forever.
You do. So how are you feeling today, Kim?
I'm feeling okay. I was just reliving when my parents decided that they had wanted to move to Louisiana the first time. They originally asked me how long I'd be in school, and when I told them 2 years, they were like, okay, well, once you graduate, we're gonna move and you're gonna be on your own here. They didn't want me to move down with them, which I can understand because at that point I'd be 25 and I should be kind of on my own at that point. And they ended up going down to Louisiana in February not February, they told me about it in February. They went down in March. When they went down in March, a week later they came back up and had told me they had bought the house already. So within 6 months they had all their things packed up and moved down to Louisiana instead of waiting the 2 years that they originally had told me.
And have you been down there since they moved down? Have you seen where they are? Do you want to go down where they are?
I have not gone down to see the house. I haven't had too much of a desire to go down, but my sister loves it down there, my mom loves it, and they keep asking me to come down, so I had made plans to go down to visit. I'm excited to see where my parents are now living. I'm not so excited for the flight there.
How are you today, Kim?
I'm okay. I was just thinking about when my parents decided they wanted to move down to Louisiana about a year ago. They asked me when I would be done school. I told them within 2 years, and They said once I was done with school that I would be on my own because they wanted to move south. They told me this in February. By March, they went down to Louisiana. They were down there for a week. When they came back, they told me they purchased a house. Within 6 months, the house was packed up from all their belongings, and they ended up moving down to Louisiana in August.
Do you plan on moving down there anytime soon?
I do not plan on moving down there.
Why?
I feel that
Isn't it good enough for you?
No, that's not why. It's because
Too many friends up here, you don't want to leave?
I'm already established up here with school and work.
So you don't think you could do it down there?
No.
Why?
Well, I feel as though I have been smoking a lot of weed recently, and my parents actually feel as though that my smoking of marijuana has been affecting my quality of schoolwork.
So do you find that the marijuana affects any aspect of being able to accomplish your schoolwork and your homework and your grades? So how do you think you did this week, Kim?
Well, honestly, I felt like when I smoked pot before I went to class, I had a harder time staying awake, but I was able to actually accomplish all of my schoolwork. Versus when I didn't smoke pot before school, I actually felt more bored and more easily distracted by both the peers in my class as well as other objects that were just there. Hi Jen, how are you today?
I'm fine. Today I'd like to talk about Jacob's behavior when he comes home from being with his dad and his grandmother. He's extremely nasty. He's very, very nasty to James, lashes out at James. From time to time he'll lash out at me. He's gotten to the point that one day he grabbed my shirt and it went right into my incision because it was like a couple days after surgery. And then he punched me and he bit me. I elbowed him in the nose to get him off of me. That was the only way he would move. And I just sometimes get very frustrated because I don't know why he lashes out at me that way. And then there's days that he's left it slip that they still talk really bad about me. So I'm not quite sure how to handle that situation.
How does him getting physical with you make you feel?
Very upset. Very, very disappointed. Hurt because I don't think it's fair that he lashes out at me. I'm not the one that's doing the talking. It's them.
Do you feel what the people that he's around and the things that they say influence his behaviors when he comes home?
Yeah, because when he comes home, he's very conflicted.
What would he be conflicted about?
I think he's conflicted about the fact that they shouldn't talk about me, but they still do. And he's afraid to say anything because then he'll probably get yelled at and be reprimanded for it.
Do you think there is any way for you to speak with your ex-husband about just not talking about you while you're there when he's there?
No, because they're going to do what they want to do. That's the way they are. And that's the way they've always been. So it's not going to change now.
Is there anything that you feel that you could do at home to try and help change the behaviors that Jake has when he comes home from his dad?
Well, what we do now is we stay away from him when he comes home.
Does that help?
A little. It gives him some time to unwind. So we just don't say nothing to him.
Okay. Hi Jen, so how are you today?
I'm fine. I would like to talk to you about when I left, what made me actually come to leave our house. I I knew that our marriage had been over for a long time. And then I told him that I was going to leave. But we stayed at the house and we dealt with the situation. The final shove came when he had switched our bank account and put all of our money into a different place where I couldn't touch it. So it left me with no gas money, no money for food for the kids, nothing. And I asked him why, and he said, because you're not taking my money. And I said, well, how am I supposed to get groceries? I'll go grocery shopping. Oh, okay. So then that started, and that's when I decided I might as well leave, because I have nothing here, so I can go somewhere else with as much nothing as I have here.
So you felt that you had nothing while you were with your husband, especially because he ended up taking all the money that you guys were supposed to share and left you
With nothing.
to not allow you to care for your kids.
Nothing.
How did that end up making you feel?
Oh, I was angry because I had taken care of everything all along. That was one of the reasons why I was so angry. I did everything. And then he decides because I'm leaving, he's going to punish me by taking all the money away.
So you felt frustrated and angry because he was essentially punishing you or putting you in your place to basically teach you a lesson?
And it didn't work because I wasn't going to stay no matter what. I was done.